Natural rocky shores, a haven for marine life, big and small. Diverse species communities call these unique environments their home. Here, at the interface between land and sea, we can find habitat-forming algae, such as bladderwrack and golden kelp, as well as colourful sponges, encrusting barnacles, and numerous grazing animals, such as periwinkles and limpets. Many of these marine organisms rely on the complex rock structure of their environment to find protection from drying out, wave action, and predation by taking advantage of natural crevices, grooves, and rock pools. However, the replacement of natural shorelines with modern coastal infrastructure is putting these natural habitats under threat. Artificial structures such as sea walls, piers, and harbour walls are often steeply sloped and possess a smooth and simplified surface structure compared to natural environments. While harbours and sea walls provide great benefits to human society, such as storm protection and recreation, they provide only very few benefits for nature. Limited habitat for marine life on artificial structures therefore often results in reduced species diversity and abundance, due to the exposure of marine organisms to environmental stresses such as summer heat, grazing pressures, and damage caused by humans. Marine ecoengineering is a research field aimed at the greening of grey coastal infrastructure. Through the combination of ecology and sustainable design, ecoengineering can provide mutual benefits for both society and nature. On land, this can be achieved through living green walls that provide habitat for terrestrial plants and insects. In marine environments, the same thing can be accomplished by incorporating a wide range of different microhabitats, such as pits, crevices, and rock pools, into artificial structures, thereby providing homes for marine life and making coastal infrastructure more similar to natural environments. The University of Plymouth has a long history of ecoengineering research. Previous research projects have focused, for example, on biodiversity studies on the Plymouth breakwater, or the deployment of so-called bioblocks. Other projects have focused on the installation of structurally complex settlement tiles in harbour areas as part of global or local experiments and the subsequent study of biological colonisation. Living Seawalls in Plymouth is a marine ecoengineering project aimed at improving habitat availability for marine life on coastal infrastructure. Originally developed by researchers and designers in Australia, Living Seawalls are modular concrete panels that mimic the surface structure found on natural shores.
We're here in Plymouth Sound and you can see there's lots of seawalls all around us, and seawalls are typically poor habitat for marine life, and the idea behind the Living Seawalls in Plymouth is that it increases the topographic complexity by having these different tile types, and by increasing the complexity it increases the spaces and habitat for marine life to settle onto.
The installation of these panels on conventional seawalls can therefore provide homes for marine organisms such as macroalgae, snails, and crabs. The Living Seawall in Plymouth was installed in summer 2023 as a collaborative effort between the University of Plymouth and the Sydney Institute of Marine Science, and represents the largest ecoengineering installation of its kind in the UK. The installation is made up of 6 panel types and a total of 72 panels interlocked in a mosaic. The different types of panels mimic natural rocky shore structures, such as textured surfaces and rock pools, as well as natural biological structures, such as oyster reefs, sponge fingers, and kelp holdfasts. These complex structures contain crevices, protrusions, as well as pools of different sizes, and can therefore create sheltered habitats for marine organisms.
Depending on the tile, you'll probably get different species colonising them because different species have different environmental requirements. So the organisms that need to stay wet while the tide is out will do really well on the water retaining tiles like this. Things like limpets, which need a flat surface to adhere to, they'll do really well on the control tiles that are flat.
And this small periwinkle snail is taking advantage of the crevice and macroalgal cover on one of the oyster reef panels. Here, it is protected from predatory animals such as hungry seabirds. These types of protective habitats are often absent on ordinary infrastructure, leaving species vulnerable to environmental stresses. To understand the ongoing colonisation of the living seawall in Plymouth, we are regularly monitoring the installation. Monitoring is conducted through researchers at the university, as well as in collaboration with local community projects. Alongside the biological monitoring, we are also participating in public outreach and running workshops to raise awareness of the Living Seawalls project. Our outreach events provide an opportunity for members of the public, in particular children and students, to interact closely with the project and learn about the importance of healthy coastal ecosystems. We are furthermore using our outreach activities to conduct questionnaire surveys of public perceptions. These surveys allow us to gain a better understanding of the ways in which people value the marine environment and their opinions about eco-engineering projects such as Living Seawalls. As such, these findings may provide an important basis for future eco-engineering initiatives and environmental policy making. Developing sustainable coastal infrastructure with benefits for both nature and human society alike is an important path towards bringing marine life back to present and future urban shorelines.